got to come get me.
You got that fork stuck in this Dodge, you got to pull it out?
No.
You need some help loading
I need
it
some
here,
help
what'd you
loading.
say?
I need
That's
some
what
help
I was
loading.
hoping this call was about.
That sucker is heavy, I can see from here. Golly.
Proverbs 13 says, "A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children." We are the recipients of a rich heritage. Because of that, we believe the inheritance of our faith will long outlast the inheritance of our riches.
God blesses us so much, dude.
The way it was reaches back and receives what the generation before us has handed us, and it reaches forward and hands it to the generation that follows us. No matter the weapon or the gear, our mission is to show you our way.
What about this, boy?
This is our faith. This is our family. This is our heritage.
Domino!
This is the way it was.
When it comes to the McCullens, tradition and heritage run deep through their family. When it comes to Sid's boys, they're just as hungry to chase whitetails in Kansas as their dad is. And even though Sid's boys live in different states, they always manage to find themselves in Kansas when fall comes around. Hunting's a part of who they are and what they do. And isn't that what hunting is all about? Passing on tradition and teaching your family through God and the outdoors. Kansas has some great memories to share with the McCullen boys.
Well, that's the beauty of this place here. Is these deer bedding close. There's a good staging area as they're working to feed. And you can usually catch them a little bit earlier. That's a good thing this time of the year because they're coming out. They're getting out to feed when it's dark. So we got to catch them between and betwixt. But let him walk off.
I think I try to follow the arrow, which I told myself 14 times before the shot. Stay down on it, and I didn't.
Well, after we've already played it back, and we've already played it back, and I don't think the deer's hurt too bad. I was hoping there might be a vein in there, but I didn't see any blood coming out. And in fact, it was so high up, I don't know what kept it out of the backbone. turned and ran into that tree out there. Hit it hard with that arrow. I don't know if it pulled out or not.
Next time you'll see me on camera, it won't be with this.
You could have killed him 1,000 times with that compound, couldn't you? But it makes it a challenge.
It does, and it's really, really fun.
I think we might get a chance to hunt 10-point again.
The Way It Was is brought to you by WTL Ministries, reaching outdoorsmen through the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Sometimes when a plan comes together but doesn't quite get executed properly, it's a huge letdown. But after looking for the buck Gabe shot a week prior and not seeing much sign, there was still a chance he could get a second opportunity at him. Look who showed back up. I'm sure Gabe isn't going to make the same mistake he did earlier. What do Paul and Goat say? Aim small, miss small.
At 10 point, I've been after. I was not expecting him to come in. He come in at 6:05. We still had over an hour of daylight, probably an hour and 20 minutes. Just kind of looked up, and there he comes. Kind of scurry around to get everything ready. Plus, your nerves are going on. I did have him on film, and I made a shoulder shot, but I did get good penetration. I've got 10 inches to a foot of penetration, so that's a good thing. I'm having heck with volume problems. Mic battery finally went dead. But what I was trying to show you earlier is that toilet paper can be used on blood trailing. What I was doing, if you take a little piece off and just tear it every time you find a little blood, every time you get to a stopping point, we may turn directions. You can always look back and see exactly where you've been. Just like we said he was. That's what we've been trying to find, is a mature buck down here. And finally, have got one on the ground. The Allen buck that I was hunting last year, I don't know if he made it or not. I haven't got any pictures of him this year, and we were getting a lot of early pictures, of velvet pictures of this deer. And I kind of spoke up in a hurry. I told Dad, I said, that big deer, grass deer we call it, didn't make it. That's number one on my hit list.
The Way It Was is brought to you by Monster Meal. Animal attraction, premium nutrition, superior results.
Chase has a little different situation than Gabe. See, Chase lives down in Louisiana, and when he's able to hunt, he only gets a week here and there when he's up to visit. But when he does get an opportunity, he makes sure he takes advantage of it. This buck looks like a prime candidate for a Black Eagle arrow. With some ladies at the monster meal, he just needs to read the rest of the script.
Hopefully we get this buck. Nothing better, my wife says, take my glasses off than to be out here with your son. And it's fun whether we get him or not, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, this is just, you can't imagine how much fun this is to have all my boys out here and take a really good deer. And old Papa Sid was filming. I was the cameraman today.
Yep.
So I didn't get to be the cameraman on Gabe's. He did it by himself. I guess you're up next to be the next year. You can film your own.
Film my own. That's right.
Okay.
This afternoon before Thanksgiving, and Chase and I are back in our old walnut tree. We hunted a different place this morning, and we decided if we didn't do any good there, we were going to be back here this afternoon. We still got a nice little, yesterday the wind like to blew us out of the tree, but today it's down to just 3, 4, 5 miles an hour. Just enough to keep our scent away from the edge of this field that we're hunting. So hopefully the deer we're after, he's a big old 6, 7-year-old 8-point that we'd love to take. So that's what we're hunting. We'll see what happens. Hey. Okay, you got him, you smoked him.
I got him. He's going down.
He's going around.
I got him good.
I was about to give out holding this camera. I didn't think he was ever going to get under us. I'm contorted around to the left. We're up in this big walnut tree. And Chase said, turn the camera on, because he was coming in directly behind me.
I heard him before I saw him.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I'd said I thought he was coming out this little trail right by this tree to come in here to feed on this corner of this field instead of down that belt line. Hey. What time is it now?
Hang on, I gotta check something.
I'm pretty sure he's laying right there. We just got out here where we can lay our eyes on this deer. But I want you to see that blood trail. It's across this bare dirt, and it looks like you just poured paint, and it leading right over there to a great, great buck that I hadn't got focused. Hot diggity dog. Is that a prototypical gorgeous 8-point buck or what? That sucker is heavy, I can see from here. Golly. Congratulations, boy. I'm coming over.
The Way It Was is brought to you by Hybrid Lights. The power of the sun and in the palm of your hand.
Traditions mean a lot to the McCullens. So in 2019, Gabe set out to take a nice buck with his recurve. After watching a buck on the cell cam the night before, he knew he wasn't bedded up far from the stand. Gabe slipped in there the following afternoon, hoping he'd show up.
It's the first time I've set all year. I set with my daughter Quinn, and she got a buck. I've been looking for that deer that I just shot. He showed up this morning on camera at like 6:40, and I told my dad we had to kind of have a marginal wind. I told Dad, I said that I got to go hunt him. If he was there at 6:40, he didn't bed far from there. And didn't know if he'd come up before dark or not. But, oh my goodness, you got to come get me.
You got that forward stuck in this dodge, you got to pull it out?
No.
You need some help loading
I need some help loading. I need some
well,
help
I was
loading.
hoping this call was about.
I hadn't found him, but quartered away, middle of the ribs. I hadn't even got down out of the stand yet.
He should be a dead deer then.
He should, yeah, should be.
Was the deer you was hunting?
Oh yeah. Well, we found him. It was a long recovery, and kind of a long story, but I'll try to paint the picture the best I can. I'll just go ahead and lead into the whole getting there and everything else. It was kind of a rat race. Luckily, thank the Lord, I wound up 10 minutes later, he got in the same spot of the most ideal place for one to be there. Make that shot, which on video and what I thought, immediately dead deer. Thought I just made a perfect quartering away shot. Called Dad, told him, come help me load. I wouldn't be able to get him in the back of the truck by myself, and it turned into a 500 yard. We have a rule, nothing past 200, but we're also going, the deer's dead. We finally get to a stopping point, which we had to. We got home at like 1 last night. I dropped the kids off to school this morning, went right back out there with Dad. We thought he might have crossed the road going on to our other place, and that's what happened. We finally picked a fleck of blood here and there, crossed the creek twice, and come to find out, when I pulled my truck up to park, if I would have just looked left, he was 335 yards away. He just laid out in the broad open. The coyotes got to him a little bit.
How about that episode? Isn't it incredible to watch two young men like Gabe and Chase follow in their father's footsteps? Their passion for the outdoors and deer hunting, they really have followed Sid as they've grown up, and it's become a passion of their own. I remember when I was a little boy, Dad and I would be out scouting or looking around in the woods, and we'd try to be as quiet as we could. And of course, my little old feet, they seemed to find every stick, and Dad would oftentimes turn around and say, listen, put your feet right where my feet were. And I would watch his feet, and every time he'd move his foot, I would place my foot where his were. And isn't that true in life too? That oftentimes we follow in our Father's footsteps. Listen, there's a verse in Psalm 37, it's verse 23. It says, the steps of a good man, he desires for us to follow in our Heavenly Father's footsteps. Has there ever been a time in your life that you made a decision to follow God in your life? To follow in your Heavenly Father's footsteps? To trust in Him for the things of your life, the decisions of your life? To accept His free gift of salvation. That's the first step in following our Heavenly Father. Listen, we've got some folks that would love to talk to you about making that decision and following in your Heavenly Father's footsteps. In fact, at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see this website is www.endthehunt.org. You can get on that on your phone or your computer, and you can walk through some questions and things that will make you think about spiritual things, and then ultimately you can talk to a live person in a live chat format and ask them spiritual questions, and you can begin a relationship with a God who loves you, and He sent His Son to die for you. Hey, thanks for watching The Way It Was.
The Way It Was brought to you by Expedition Archery, Tacticam, Three Rivers Archery, Black Eagle Arrows, Simmons Shark Broadheads. Want to know what the guy's been up to all year? Check us out on Facebook and Instagram for the latest updates happening with the show.